So I grew up in Delray Beach, Florida. I've never lived anywhere else. I went to Atlantic High School. I was an honor student. I was captain of the cheerleaders. I had a pretty good time in high school. I was always in a leadership position. I went to college and I got pregnant my sophomore year of college, and that was a big spiral for me because I was expected to be the good girl who kept the straight A's, finish school and get her master's. But I got pregnant with my son, and that's when I was like, felt like I was the big disappointment. I didn't know what to expect as a mom. My parents were like, you're gonna keep going to school. But I just felt like such a failure. And I think at that time is when like my self-worth kind of diminished. And you know, I kept going through life. I found great community in my church, but I still kept feeling this feeling of disqualification, like I'm not good enough. But I built myself back up. I got a Fortune 100 job and I purchased a home. I felt myself building back up again. You know, I felt unstoppable. And then when I met Dada. You know, I had a great relationship. People called us a power couple. Like, we were both driven and ambitious, big dreams, you know. And then last year I got pregnant. I was diagnosed with hyperemesis, which is a disease when you get pregnant. It's like morning sickness times 100. I couldn't work anymore. And I felt like that spiral again. I was in a domestic violence incident with my partner. We had been going through some issues before, especially after the pandemic. Mental health was just kind of spiraling. You know, I was promised that he would go to counseling, therapy, anger management. But then when I found out I was pregnant and I was progressing through my pregnancy, we had an incident of domestic violence, and it just got really ugly. And he was arrested. Our 11-year-old was hurt. It was just really bad. I was introduced to Child First by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. And that's where we got started, and I met Delisia and Celine.
Because this was a domestic violence DCF case, it had me worried. So I had to voice that to the clinician, Delisia, and explain, like, this is a concern for me. I don't know, because she does live in a gated community, but he has the code and he can come in. So we would check in periodically. We had a safety plan set up for mom so that she would know she'd need to call these set of people.
They made me feel like I was welcome. They made me feel like I was a person.
A lot of like huge empowerment and like trying to build upon her strengths and like just trying to get her to see like what we see as her being a parent, a single mom, making her feel more confident in her role, which is our biggest thing.
I felt confidence just because of how they presented themselves.
We really try to help our families acknowledge what they've been through and feel validated, but also understand that you can create healthy relationships and also be aware of those that are not, and how do you also instill that in your children. So trying to help them understand that we can be that supportive fence and base for you to show you this is how you model that for your children. This is how you can create or recreate that sense of belongingness to be a part of something that makes you feel good even though you had a bad experience growing up.
This program has taught me how to understand her cues and what she needs. So people are always amazed when I just know things. It's like she asks me. I wasn't like that with my first child, but I know what she's saying. I know what she needs. And this program has really helped me just understand cues or missed cues. So we're very connected.
I feel like she felt accepted. She felt like she had a great connection with us.
I don't know where I would be. I'm so much more knowledgeable. I'm so much more prepared for life, even outside of being her mom, just for me and just how I interact with friends, or knowing my worth, knowing not to allow certain things to happen again, just knowing how to speak up for myself in a gentle way. you know, I don't have to really fight for myself. It's just knowing how to go through life, knowing how to communicate. That's one of the biggest things I learned here, how to communicate.
I feel like we want to make sure that the mom is heard, that she's understood, and that there's clarity in what she's saying. So we'll ask her questions. We want her to be involved in the treatment. So we don't make the decisions for her. We explain the treatment plan. We explain everything to her so that she is fully aware of what's going on. So that's where she gets a sense of belonging, because we work as a team. We don't work individually.
I feel the love. I know you guys care. It's not just a program. It's not just work. It's you guys really care about your people. And I feel it, and I'm thriving. The things I'm doing now, I would not be able to do had I not gone through this program.